Dan Blocker, born Bobby Dan Davis. Blocker, on December 10, 1928, in DeKalb, Texas, grew up in an environment shaped by rural hardship, close community ties, and a strong work ethic. His early years in the small towns and rugged landscapes of Texas played a defining role in forming the character he would later become known for. Raised in a family that valued honesty, responsibility, and perseverance, Blocker learned early that life required both physical effort and moral integrity. His parents ran a modest general store in O'Donnell, Texas, where young Dan observed firsthand the importance of serving others and maintaining trust within a community. Even as a child, he was noticeably large and strong for his age, yet those who knew him often remarked that his physical presence was matched by a calm, kind temperament. Unlike many who might have been intimidated by his size, neighbors and classmates remembered him as approachable, good-natured, and respectful. These formative experiences in Texas laid the foundation for the qualities that would later define both his personal life and his most famous screen persona: education, athletics, and the development of character. As Dan Blocker grew older, his education became an important part of his development, not only academically but also socially and physically. He attended Texas Military Institute before moving on to Sul Ross State Teachers College, where he continued to develop both his intellectual curiosity and his athletic abilities. Football became one of his most prominent pursuits during these years, and his size and strength made him a natural fit for the sport. However, what truly set him apart was not just his athleticism but his discipline and determination. He earned respect from teammates and instructors alike for his consistent effort and team-first mentality. Academically, Blocker pursued studies in English, eventually earning a master's degree in dramatic arts, which would later become a crucial stepping stone toward his acting career. This combination of physical capability and intellectual ambition gave him a well-rounded foundation. His time in college also reinforced his belief in teamwork, humility, and perseverance, values that would remain central throughout his life and career in entertainment. Military service and lessons in discipline and sacrifice. During the Korean War era, Dan Blocker was drafted into the United States Army, where he served as an infantry sergeant. His time in the military had a profound impact on his worldview and personal philosophy. The experience exposed him to the realities of discipline, responsibility under pressure, and the importance of leadership in life or death situations. Those who served alongside him described Blocker as steady, dependable, and quietly courageous, never seeking recognition but always fulfilling his duties with seriousness and integrity. Military service also deepened his empathy for others, particularly those facing hardship or uncertainty. He often reflected later in life that the Army taught him more about human resilience than anything else he had experienced. The structure and demands of military life reinforced traits that had already begun forming in his youth: loyalty, patience, and a deep respect for authority and teamwork. These lessons would later influence his approach to acting, where professionalism and respect for colleagues became defining aspects of his reputation in Hollywood. Teaching career and a life before fame. After completing his military service and education, Dan Blocker returned to Texas, where he briefly pursued a career in teaching. He worked as an educator, sharing his knowledge of literature, history, and life experience with students. This period of his life is often overlooked, but it played a significant role in shaping his communication skills and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. As a teacher, Blocker was known for his patience, humor, and ability to engage students in meaningful discussion. He did not seek authority through intimidation, but rather through understanding and encouragement. This phase of his life also reinforced his belief in the importance of mentorship and guidance, values he carried with him into his acting career. Although teaching was not his final profession, it provided him with a sense of purpose and stability during a transitional period. It was also during this time that he began to seriously consider pursuing acting, a decision that would eventually change the course of his life. Early acting roles and the path toward Hollywood. Dan Blocker's entry into Hollywood was gradual and marked by persistence rather than immediate success. In the late 1950s, he began appearing in small television roles, often cast as background characters or supporting figures due to his imposing physical presence. Shows such as The Rifleman, Gunsmoke, and The Restless Gun provided him with early exposure to the entertainment industry. While these roles were minor, they allowed him to develop on-screen confidence and gain valuable experience in front of the camera. Casting directors quickly noticed his natural charisma, combined with a rare ability to portray both strength and sensitivity. Unlike many actors who relied heavily on technique, Blocker brought authenticity and emotional sincerity to his performances. His size made him stand out, but it was his warmth that made him memorable. Each small role brought him closer to a breakthrough opportunity, even though he could not yet have known that a single casting decision would soon define his entire career and legacy in American television history, becoming Hoss Cartwright and the Rise of Bonanza. In 1959, Dan Blocker was cast as Eric Hoss Cartwright in the television series Bonanza, a role that would transform him into one of the most recognizable and beloved figures in television history. Hoss Cartwright, the gentle and compassionate middle son of the Cartwright family, was a character that perfectly aligned with Blocker's real-life personality. His portrayal brought warmth, humor, and emotional depth to the series, helping balance the action-driven elements of the Western genre. Audiences quickly connected with Hoss, seeing him as a symbol of kindness and moral integrity in a rugged frontier world. The show itself became one of the longest-running and most successful television series of its era, and Blocker appeared in hundreds of episodes over more than a decade. His performance was not defined by aggression or dominance, but by empathy and sincerity, qualities that made him stand out in a genre often focused on toughness and conflict. Through Hoss Cartwright, Blocker became a cultural icon. Impact of Bonanza and his place in television history. As Bonanza continued its run, Dan Blocker's role grew increasingly central to the emotional foundation of the series. Hoss Cartwright was often portrayed as the heart of the family, providing compassion and moral clarity in difficult situations. Critics and audiences alike praised Blocker for bringing depth and humanity to what could have been a one-dimensional character. His ability to balance humor with sincerity made Hoss one of the most beloved figures in television westerns. Behind the scenes, Blocker was known as a stabilizing presence among the cast, often described as the moral center of the production. His professionalism and cooperative nature helped maintain harmony on set, even during moments of creative disagreement. The success of Bonanza elevated him to national fame, but he remained grounded, never allowing celebrity to overshadow his values. His portrayal of Hoss Cartwright left a lasting impact on television history, helping redefine what a Western character could represent in terms of emotional complexity and human kindness, marriage, family life, and personal values. Dan Blocker's personal life was deeply rooted in his marriage to Dolphia Parker Blocker, whom he met during his college years at Sul Ross State University. Their relationship began long before fame entered the picture and was built on mutual respect, shared values, and emotional stability. They married in 1952 at a time when Blocker was still working various jobs and pursuing his education and early career ambitions. Dolphia played a crucial role in supporting him during these uncertain years, providing encouragement and stability as he navigated the challenges of building a career. Together, they raised 4 children, creating a home environment centered on love, discipline, and humility. Despite his growing fame, Blocker remained deeply committed to his family, often prioritizing time at home over Hollywood events. He frequently credited his wife as the foundation of his personal and professional balance. Their marriage was widely regarded as strong and enduring, reflecting a partnership built on loyalty rather than public attention or industry glamour. Behind the scenes of Bonanza and cast tensions. While Bonanza presented an image of unity and harmony on screen, the reality behind the scenes was more complex. One of the most notable tensions involved Dan Blocker and his co-star Pernell Roberts, who played Adam Cartwright. Roberts was known for his outspoken criticism of the show's writing and creative direction, often expressing dissatisfaction with what he considered simplistic storytelling. Blocker, by contrast, valued professionalism and loyalty to the production, believing in the importance of maintaining respect among cast members. These opposing perspectives led to friction between the two actors. Blocker reportedly viewed Roberts' behavior as disruptive, while Roberts saw himself as advocating for greater artistic depth. Despite these differences, their disagreements remained professional rather than personal conflicts of violence or hostility. Still, the tension was widely acknowledged within the production environment. Over time, Roberts' eventual departure from the series in the mid-1960s brought a sense of relief to some cast members, including Blocker, who preferred a more cooperative working atmosphere. Aftermath of cast changes and evolving dynamics. Following Pernell Roberts' departure from Bonanza, the atmosphere on set reportedly became more relaxed and cohesive. Dan Blocker, who valued teamwork and stability, found it easier to work within a cast that shared a similar commitment to the show's direction. The remaining cast members, including Lorne Greene and Michael Landon, continued to build strong professional relationships, and the series maintained its popularity with audiences. Blocker's portrayal of Hoss Cartwright remained a central pillar of the show's success. Although he occasionally reflected on earlier tensions, he did so with a sense of perspective rather than bitterness. He acknowledged Robert's talent while also recognizing their differences in philosophy and personality. The evolving dynamics of the cast highlighted the challenges of long-running television productions, where creative differences are often inevitable. Despite past disagreements, Bonanza continued to thrive, largely due to the chemistry and commitment of its core cast, with Blocker playing a key role in maintaining its emotional authenticity. Sudden passing and industry shock. On May 13, 1972, Dan Blocker passed away unexpectedly at the age of 43, following complications from gallbladder surgery that led to a pulmonary embolism. His death occurred in Englewood, California, and sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. What had been considered a routine medical procedure turned tragic when a blood clot formed and traveled to his lungs, resulting in sudden cardiac arrest. The news devastated his family, including his wife Dolphia and their children, as well as his colleagues from Bonanza. Cast members such as Lorne Greene and Michael Landon were reportedly deeply affected, struggling to process the loss of someone they regarded not only as a co-star but as a close friend. His passing marked the end of an era for the series, which would eventually conclude a short time later. The abruptness of his death added to the emotional impact, leaving fans and colleagues mourning the loss of a beloved television figure whose presence had become synonymous with warmth and integrity. Legacy of Dan Blocker and enduring cultural memory. Dan Blocker's legacy extends far beyond his role in Bonanza. He is remembered as an actor who brought authenticity, kindness, and emotional depth to the Western genre, redefining what it meant to be a television hero. His portrayal of Hoss Cartwright continues to resonate with audiences as a symbol of compassion and moral strength. Beyond his screen presence, Blocker's personal life reflected the same values he portrayed: loyalty to family, respect for colleagues, and humility in the face of fame. His influence also lives on through his children, including Dirk Blocker, who pursued a career in acting. Over time, his contributions to television have been recognized as foundational in shaping long-running ensemble dramas. Even decades after his passing, his performances remain widely appreciated for their sincerity and emotional honesty. Dan Blocker's life story stands as a testament to the idea that true legacy is built not only on fame, but on character, kindness, and the lasting impact one leaves on both colleagues and audiences alike.